I remember when this game was revealed because people really weren't super happy.
It did feel like a bit of a troll move, basically. Yeah. They announced, was it E3 last year this was announced? And so they announced there's a new Metroid Prime, which has obviously caused a celebration.
And they revealed it with the like an emphasis on the multiplayer mode, which is called
Blast Ball.
Blast Ball. There we are. Let's start there actually, because there's a cool announcement that's being made today, right now, I imagine, as this video goes live.
Yeah, 5 PM today, you can get Blast Ball for free on your 3DS.
That's a cool thing.
It's really good.
The whole mode?
Really yeah, the whole thing, yeah. And yeah, it's like a little bonus. It's like a demo of sorts, but Blast Ball is, as a game, it's a blast.
Yeah, how does it play out then? So is it free versus free? Is that
free
right?
versus free, kind of easy comparison to make would be Rocket League.
Okay.
But that's kind of useful and also misleading at the same time, because you're 3 little chibi guys in little chibi mechs, and you're shooting this ball around as opposed to kind of directly interacting with it. And so it's best to keep a bit more of a distance. But yeah, you're basically shooting a ball into a goal. And so it's kind of got that chaotic element that you get in Rocket League.
Is it difficult to be accurate? I guess there's a knack to learning where exactly on the ball to shoot to make it go in the right direction.
So there is that. It doesn't have that kind of fluidity and nuance of Rocket League, but I don't think you'd expect it to because of the controls and because of the platform it's on. But it also does have that kind of element of control where, like, you can chip it, you shoot at the bottom, you chip it, you can do spins on it and everything as well.
Okay, cool.
And it's got that really cool defensive element as well, where you've got to basically, you can charge up the ball, and if you charge up the ball and it hits another guy in the face, it can take their mech out and they're kind of deactivated for a little bit.
Sure.
But then you've also got to get in defensive positions, and there's power-ups as well. And there's kind of like a blue shell, which is basically you eject all the other players from their mechs.
That sounds OP.
Well, no, it's amazing. It sounds OP, but what happens is that you basically get a warning saying you're about to be ejected.
Right.
And what you've got to do then is try and rush all your characters back so they're standing in a line in front of the goal.
Oh my god, so the mechs stay there?
Yeah, it's the mechs stay there.
Wow.
While your chibi guy runs around. And then you basically just try and got to get your mech so it just kind of gets paused and frozen.
Position.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really cool.
It sounds like a bit of a weird game. It
is a weird game. It's a brilliant game as well. That if you can get like 6 people together with 3DSs, obviously it's the thing about having to have Metroid Prime Federation Force doesn't matter anymore because it's free. Yeah, if you can get 6 people together or like 3 people together playing it, it's amazing. It's just an amazing time to be had. And it is like, if it was called just Blast Ball, it would be a brilliant game if we could be going nuts for a game.
Yeah.
Look at this really cool 3DS game. It's
really unfortunate. The Metroid name's brought some baggage along with it, hasn't it?
It's really unfortunate they called it Metroid.
Okay, well, so that. It sounds like an excellent thing. If you own a 3DS, it's probably worth taking a look at this just because. But yeah, Federation Force, I guess the actual game itself isn't just Blast Ball.
The main core of the game is a 4-player co-op shooter.
Okay.
Which has a bit more in common with Metroid. It still retains that art style, which I know some people didn't like so much because it's a bit more cartoony, a bit more chibi than main Metroid. But it does still have more elements. So basically, this is like just over 20 missions.
Okay.
Missions are about 10 minutes each, 10, 15 minutes each. And you basically just have different goals in all of them. They're quite different goals in some of them. Some of them are like more arena blasters where you've got to try and take down a boss or something. Some of them are more like dungeons where you've got to go through and do puzzles.
Is this a campaign that you'd play through from start to finish, or is it like is there an emphasis on going back to replay levels for?
You can play from start to finish, and you can also go and get different rankings for them.
Right. Okay.
It plays a lot like Luigi's Mansion 2. It's from Next Level Games, who did the same developer, who's a brilliant developer by the way. They did Mario Striker, the Mario football game, basically, which is obviously you can see that in Blast Ball.
Yeah, of course.
And then more recently they did Luigi's Mansion 2, which everyone loved at the time, quite rightly. It's really good.
Yeah.
And this is like Next Level have made another really good game. I love Metroid to bits. I didn't quite get the hatred that Federation Force got. I think it was just unfortunate it was called Metroid. But still, playing Federation Force yesterday, it was a real eye opener. It's a shame there's been so much negativity around this game because I think it's going to obscure what is a really good video game.
Cool. Do you think for people that aren't quite sure about the main game, is Blast Ball going to be a good? I imagine this is part of its purpose. Part of the reason it's gone free is to give people a taste and maybe convince them to take a look at the full game.
They're two very different things.
They sound very, very different.
They
That's
are
the
different.
thing.
Like some of the like the ball mechanics and everything, and the shooting the ball. Some of the puzzles you get. I only played like 3 missions, I think.
Okay.
And in one of them, basically, you had to shoot the balls into things to unlock doors, basically. Although it's a bit more complicated than that, and there's a bit more teamwork involved in that. But I think hopefully just by people seeing the quality of Blast Ball and seeing it is quite good fun, then they'll be more open to the fact that Federation Force might not be a complete disaster.
Yeah, even if the game style isn't hugely similar, I guess it will give you some confidence in the developer and what they've been working on.
And when you go into Federation Force as well, it's amazingly deep. There's like a proper loot system in it as well.
Okay.
So it's got a score attack thing in it, whereby I think if you charge shots, mean you get more score or something. And then if you die, then you lose score. And whoever gets you can find mods in the maps, which are kind of like traditional Metroid style. You find them in little nooks and crannies.
Sure.
But they all go into a pool, and then at the end of the mission, whoever's got the highest score gets to choose the loot they take.
Oh wow,
and
that's
so it's
brutal.
kind of like it's kind of nice little squabbling over who gets what loot.
I love that. I know we played a lot of Vermintide last year, and that has an interesting take on how the team has to work together, and also get a little bit greedy over loot by the end of the mission. I think that will be an interesting dynamic, especially if you're like playing next to them with your 3DS.
And so it's got that, which is a really cool dynamic. It's got just interesting mechanics in general. The 3 missions I played all had different approaches. One of them was kind of more puzzle-based. The other one was working through like an abandoned space station and then defending like a core as it uploaded, because that terrible Wi-Fi took ages to upload in this ship.
It's a video game. You have to defend cores whilst they upload important data.
The other one was kind of with these big ice titans rolling around this massive frozen tundra.
That one sounds different.
And then trying to lure them into cages. And then
that one sounds very different.
And so you'd get like one of the guys would act as the bait in the cage, and then you got to try and get the ice titan into it, and then someone else has got to shut the cage on top of them and everything. And it's just, it's really cool, but it kind of reminded me of playing Destiny. We haven't spoken about Destiny for way too long in this site, surely.
I know, it's all Overwatch these days.
Yeah, and it reminded me of doing Destiny raids basically, like little bite-sized 10-minute raids where they've got all these really interesting different mechanics, and you're just going through them and just playing with friends basically and trying to solve all these like awesome little puzzles while also shooting the crap out of things.
And there's good loot.
Yeah. And like doesn't that sound like a game you'd want to play?
Sure. Yeah,
it's just a shame it's called Metroid because people look to Metroid games for that.
Okay, well hopefully, this is easily the most substantial chunk of gameplay we've actually seen.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that Blast Ball is going as a free download. Maybe there's a chance that they'll turn the kind of narrative around here, because it is at the moment. Whenever we talk about this game, it's talking about a disappointing reveal. It's nice to actually hear there's more to that conversation than that.
I think Nintendo are allowed to have a bit of freedom with their licenses as well, and do it with their IP and do what they want with it. I think that's what makes them interesting when they do interesting things with them. And I hope there will be a more traditional Metroid along at some point. And this doesn't tick many Metroid boxes,
right?
But it is going to be a good video game, I think, from what I've played. It's actually not that long till it's out either. It's only August 19th in America and September 2nd in the UK.
Cool. So yeah, if you want to take a look at Blast Ball, it's just on the eShop around the same time this video goes live. I can't speak for that. It should be live today. That's the idea anyway. Yeah, at some point today you'll be able to do that. So that sounds like a good thing. All right, nice.
Lovely stuff.